Hey, Fatfish heads! It's time for another edition of the hottest new podcast on all platforms, Fatfish. Sit back and strap yourself in for the wildest ride on the open seas. Now, flap your fins for the fabulous Fatfish brothers, Eric Fish Snyder and Brad Grunny Grunberg, a.k.a. Snacks.
What's up there, sir?
Good morning. Good morning. We're live from Las Vegas and Beverly Hills, California, man.
Yeah.
Wow. You know, I'll tell you, buddy, you're in Beverly Hills, California. Unbelievable.
No, I'm not in Beverly Hills. I'm in adjacent, outside Los Angeles, they call it. But
well, you're Los Angeles adjacent, they say. Hey, we're 45. You always do the lead into the show, but something hit the other night that it floored me. And because you have such a great relationship with the head coach of the Golden State Warriors, Steve Kerr, this season's been a shit show of drama with Draymond Green, and then this happened. We just lost their assistant coach, Deban Milojevic. I'm probably messing up his name. Eating dinner, has a heart attack, and passes away. You tell me, you said you texted Steve Kerr. Tell me the kind of leader he is and how he gets this team focused on tragedy. It's just so sad.
Well, he went through a tragedy in his life when we were at the University of Arizona. His father was assassinated in Beirut. He was the president of the American University, and his dad was born and raised there, and he didn't want any security. So he decided to tell the powers that be, no security. I don't want anybody following me around. Well, two guys were waiting for him in his right outside his office, hiding. And when he stepped out of the office, I think they shot him and killed him. And they didn't kill Malcolm Kerr. They killed what he represented back in the 80s. It was horrible. And I spent a lot of time with Steve mourning his dad's passing. I'll tell you something. When you see The Last Dance, yeah, they bring up his dad and he gets all choked up 30 plus years later. You know, when you lose your dad, it's the worst. You lose any family member. So I'll tell you what, I text Steve and Bruce Frazier. So Steve, I said, Steve, I wanted to send my deepest condolences in the passing of Coach Milanovic. So sad, only 46. And then I put every day is a gift. And then he returned it with a heart. And every day is a gift. So I just want to let you know that. It's so sad. I just know that he was so loved, a great assistant coach, and 46. Unbelievable. Life is short, man. Life is short.
It's you're eating dinner and there's players, there's coaches there, and the guy has a heart attack. And of course, the last two games have been suspended. If you're not a Warriors fan, it doesn't matter. Right now, I am. I'm not. But right now, I'm pulling for the Warriors to have a great ending to their season. Hey, not like Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, even Draymond. It's a great organization, but they've gone through a lot of tragedy with, like I said, with the drama with this guy Draymond, and then this happened. So, if you can, everyone say a prayer. Well, yeah. we're gonna raise the spirits of the show, but I know that Steve and Brad are very good friends, and that team is hurting right now. And the thing is, they're people like we are. They're athletes, but they're humans.
Amen. Amen. Everybody, we're all the same. Some people more successful than others, but we all go poo-poo and we all put our pants on one leg at a time.
Yeah. Well, you know who's better than anyone is this handsome guy named Brad Grunberg. Okay. You're going to see him on TV soon. But we did the NFL playoffs last weekend. Stick your head in there, Brad, so we can see it, so you can gloat a little bit. No, there you go. And I think I'm not going to name the games. I think I got one or two right. Brad went 5-1 in this, so I owe him a dinner. So I'm not cheap or anything like that, but they do have a special here in Vegas at the Olive Garden where you can get free all the breadsticks and salad you can eat and 2 pastas. So Brad, anytime you want to come up, it's on me, buddy. But congratulations,
thank you,
on you being Jimmy the Greek Snyder, not Eric Snyder, and kicking ass. And congratulations. But now we're going to do our sports.
Thank you.
and we'll go. I'll give you the 4 games this weekend. I'll let you go first on all of them. Okay. The first one is the Houston Texans, which just destroyed Cleveland. They're playing the Baltimore Ravens on Saturday, 1:15 our time on the West Coast. What do you like?
The Ravens. We're more experienced. Love Houston. Love the story. Love the quarterback. But the Ravens have it's in Baltimore, right?
It is.
Yeah, it's all Baltimore.
Yeah.
It's going to be close, I think, closer than people think. But unfortunately, Houston's they're gonna succumb to the greatness of the Ravens and Jackson. He's an incredible quarterback. Do you know that he did his own deal? He didn't have an agent. I don't know if you knew that.
Amazing. And and he got a great deal. He deserves it. I'm a big Lamar Jackson fan.
He's a
so
great.
It's hard for me, but I want to go against you in a couple of these.
Okay.
So we make it fun. And this is double or nothing on food. You're going to get 2 dinners out of this if you beat me. So yeah.
Can I upgrade? When I beat you this weekend, can I make it to Olive Garden? Goodbye. Hello. What's the greatest steakhouse in? What's the famous steakhouse in Vegas? Been there 100 years. What is it called? It's
there
called
by me. Bob Taylor's is a huge steakhouse.
Yeah.
But you know what? I'll go take you to.
Yeah.
I'll take you. We have a great one, Montana Meat Company, which is a sister of Shucks Tavern, where I work.
There you go. The other,
and I used to work there. It's great steak. But if you come into town, I will take you to Barry's at the Circa. It's all the athletes go there. It's a great steakhouse. But if you want to come up by me, we'll go to Montana Meat Company, do a little plug for them. I like the Houston Texans. I'll tell you why.
Okay.
I'm the flavor of the month sometimes. It's like Taylor Swift is a flavor of the month in the NFL. I love the CJ Stroud, but I love Lamar Jackson. So let's move on. Another flavor of the month is the Green Bay Packers. The most shocking game this past weekend is how they thumped the Dallas Cowboys, and Jerry Jones sitting there in that booth, snapping his hand and getting pissed off. You go. The Green Bay Packers Saturday night, Bradley, play the 49ers.
Okay, it's going to be all. It's in San Francisco. The game, all 49ers. And I think Jordan Love's a great quarterback. Not where he's not. He's good, not great yet. And I really think San Francisco is going to beat their asses. Thank you.
I don't want to piss off Wendell, one of my good friends at Chuck's Tavern, is a big Niner fan, but I'm going to say Green Bay just because I wouldn't mind taking you to the Montana Meat Company or Barry Steakhouse when you come up.
Why don't you take me to both? And by the way, I have a question. Do you have to be at the dinner? I'm kidding.
Yeah, I'm paying, schmuck. Yeah.
No,
watch this. Hey, Brad, I'm paying. I'm taking care of the whole evening. Do you want me there or not?
I'm there. Can we also go for a little fun at a place that I hold near and dear to my heart? Spearmint Rhino.
Clubs. All those girls are so jealous of me. I can't. I walk in there, they think I'm Hugh Hefner with the rolls and stuff like that. You could take the midget John Hyatt, who doesn't know how to work a fucking camera for us for a podcast. All right. I'm going to take Green Bay just because I want to go back and forth with you. Sunday morning, intriguing game because you got 2 guys that are making just comeback careers, and Jared Goff with the Lions against Baker Mayfield. Remember those commercials when he was the Browns, Brad, when he's living in Cleveland Stadium? Yeah. So, who do you like? It's in Detroit. Who do you like, Brad? You like the Buccaneers or you like the Lions?
The state of Michigan is on a roll. I told my buddy Mike Nathan, who came on, the aficionado on Where to Go Poo Poo, and he's the biggest the biggest Michigan Detroit fan there is. He watches everything from hockey to soccer to football. Detroit, man. Detroit, they're having an incredible season. This hasn't happened in decades. So they're home. Their fans are incredible. If 2 fans are incredible is Detroit fans and the Buffalo fans. Incredible. The Buffalo Mafia. Wow, the Bills Mafia. But I'm going to go with Detroit Lions, baby.
Me too. I love their coach. That Dan Campbell guy. He just looks like a Midwest type of. He played in the NFL for years. I love him.
I love him too because he's so passionate, and he's a coach, but he's an ex-player, so he knows what how to coach these guys,
Sure.
and he even though they have missteps, he never gives up. He never gives up. In that locker room at halftime, I you can hear a pin drop when he speaks. Love him,
Sure.
love him.
Well, there's always the piece of cake that's left for the Duke of Windsor. Well, you're my Duke. The Chiefs play the Bills, and which is turning out to be a rivalry like when Peyton Manning went against Tom Brady, or the Lakers and the Warriors when these years with LeBron and Kobe and everyone. It's just a great rivalry. Chiefs and Bills Sunday night in Buffalo. Who do you got?
Love the Chiefs. They're great. Taylor Swift, I'm a big fan, but there's no way they're going to beat the Bills in Buffalo in that weather. And Josh Allen has a lot to prove, okay? And Buffalo has a lot to prove to their fans because 4 Super Bowls, Scott Norwood missed it by that much, right?
Well,
4 Super Bowls. Jim Kelly, one of my heroes, down they went. Now, he has come so close, Josh Allen, he has to go a little cliche. He has to go over the goal line. He has to get to the Super Bowl and win it this year. I take the Bills all the way. They're going to win it all, and they're going to beat the Kansas City Chiefs Sunday night in Buffalo.
I'm with you. So we agree on the 2 Sunday games, and we're opposite on the Saturday games. I got Houston, you got Baltimore. I got Green Bay, you have the Niners, and okay, that sounds good. It's fun. The divisional weekend is usually the greatest weekend if you're an NFL fan, and let's hope that the games are better than the blowouts we saw last week.
Are you watching?
That being said,
are you going to watch with your son Max?
Absolutely, yeah. Actually, it's Vicky and my anniversary on Sunday.
What?
Yeah,
how many
34 years. Can you believe what an idiot she is?
Wow, what's wrong with her?
Wow.
Love
her to death.
I know.
What I get lucky
for you. You have a beautiful family. She is the salt of the earth.
She is. And they're going to do Cleveland Clinic's going to do a study of her brain when she passed away, and it's going to say, what made you look at that guy and say, a guy that's got a mind of a 12-year-old his whole life, and say, oh, that's for me. But no. So it's my anniversary. Family will come over. You're welcome to come over. We're going to have a big spread. Oh my God. You should drive up for the spread we're going to have for my team. So we'll watch the games, have a good time. And you talked about fan bases, right? I just want to shout this out because we have a lot of fans in the Raider Nation, in the marketing department. Hey, Gabriel Ruelas. I promise you, if we get another guy on the show, Brad won't talk about the guy's dick. All right, so
yes, I will.
Look at this beam. Look at Snoopy. Why is it taking so long to name Antonio Pierce's head coach? Come on, Raider Nation. Come on, Mark. We love this guy. He galvanized that locker room. The team, the fans, everyone's rallied around this guy, and we have someone that we could really root for and want to do well with for the next 5 or 10 years. Do the right thing, Mark Davis. Sign this guy. You're following the Raiders in this path, right, Brett?
Are you still talking? What did you say?
Well, I'm passionate about the Raiders.
Listen, the Raiders were in shambles. Antonio, listen, he picked up the pieces. He rallied the troops. And Mark Davis has got to give him a chance.
Come on, Mark.
But he's interviewing everybody else. He's Mark Davis has to interview everybody else. But I mean, he's a sentimental favorite, right? The players love him. The fans love him. You love him. I do love him too.
Wait a minute. Breaking news. Why we're doing the show. Mark Davis is interviewing Mini Snacks. John Grifo. What's his name?
Joe Grippo.
Joe Grippo, yeah.
Oh, Mini Snacks for the head coach.
We're gonna get you a job, buddy. You're gonna work for the Raiders as concessions.
Big.
By the way,
are you still talking? Big shout out to Joe Grippo. Just wanted
Joe Grippo, love it. I gotta before we get to some memes, I gotta things. You and Brad should do your favorite stadiums, and I could say right now, I've been to a lot of stadiums. So has Brad, but Brad judges a stadium by their concession stands. That's it. So, Brad, give me your favorite. I know you've been to every stadium in LA. I have not been to SoFi. Tell me about SoFi.
Well, first of all, I heard that what's the new Clipper venue? It's like a spaceship. Intuit,
It's
Intrepid.
next to SoFi.
Yeah, it's like a bank. I don't know, but it's unbelievable. That's going to be the state of the art of the state of the arts when it opens next year. And they already announced the other day. Adam Silver announced that the 2026 All-Star Weekend will be in LA at whatever it's called. I don't even know, but it's really cool. I've seen a couple of pictures of it. It's really cool. But SoFi is unbelievable. I mean, I was lucky. My buddy Kirk Reynolds, he used to do all the publicity for the Rams. He got me some incredible tickets for Joe Kenny and his gorgeous daughter, Catherine. Three of us went to the game. It was, well, first of all, it took us 100 years to get to the seats. That was a problem. I'd ask somebody, where are these seats? They go, well, you got to go over here and down this elevator. We got lost a couple times, but food, unbelievable. Whatever you want, when you want. And that's the most important thing to me. But no, it was so good. Oh, it was great. And you know what's great? Any seat is great because you watch this jumbotron that wraps around the stadium, which is incredible. Oh, SoFi was amazing. Yeah.
From D Rizzo, that sounds like someone that's kind of connected.
Yeah, I know.
From Lincoln, Nebraska. Here's a Lincoln, Nebraska, right? Mm-hmm. Ask Brad what's his favorite stadium that's outside of LA. So,
wow, that's a good question. I don't really go outside LA to stadiums. Well, I love my Arizona Wildcats.
Good stadium.
I love Arizona Stadium in Tucson, Arizona. I mean, listen, when I was a kid, my dad took me to a Knick game. This is a great story. And, Madison Square Garden is the Mecca, right? They say it's the Mecca. So we're going to our seats, and all of a sudden there are these guys sitting in our seats. And the usher goes, get up. These guys start swearing at us, mother effers, brother. I go, buddy, we paid for these seats. My dad, I'm 12 years old. I'm looking at these guys. And then, this is great. I'm 12 years old. We sit down. Not 10 minutes in, I hear one of the fans go, hey, Mendy, why don't you go home and fuck your wife? Mendy Rudolph. Remember he passed.
Sure, he was an official.
Yeah, one of the great NBA officials. He had a heart attack at 50. One of the greatest NBA officials of all time. But this guy, right, like maybe 5 seats away from me. Mendy, go home and F your wife. I'm going, Dad, what's that? He goes, that's New York. So those are my picks. What about you?
Well, I've been in so many stadiums, baseball and football. I'm a sports junkie, but I love football. I love the Oakland Alameda Coliseum because it smelled like a sewer, but you had great concession stands and there was so much history. The best stadium I've ever been in outside, the old Yankee Stadium, because not only were the concessions great, but I remember, rest in peace, we had my grandfather on, and my dad would say, look, son, that's where Babe Ruth stood. Wow. That's where Joe DiMaggio stood and Mickey Mantle. And you get nostalgic, and the food was great. And every New Yorker, all you hear is people blowing their nose, and that's a bullshit call. What are you talking about? What's the matter with you, you bastard? That's all you hear from even that's the women.
Yeah.
It's great. And I was there when I was like 17, 18. But yeah, I mean, hey, listeners and viewers, fishgrunny1@gmail.com. Let us know your favorite stadiums, and we'll give you a shout out next week. We'll give, and you guys all have give us a great stadium story. Brad tells stories better than I do. He'll tell the story about you in a stadium. You got thrown out, you got drunk, you got stupid, you got laid in a stadium. It happens.
By the way, I did. Jeff Franklin cast me in Fuller House. I was a warm-up guy on Full House, but I did Fuller House as an actor. And I did 5 episodes. I was so blessed and grateful. But the first one I did is when Stephanie falls in love with Hunter Pence. Okay. I did it during the game, Candlestick or whatever they call it now. And I am telling you, we did it during the second, third, and fourth inning, and San Francisco Giants were playing the Dodgers, last game of the season. I'm going to tell you something. They are amazing fans in San Francisco. Really. I mean, Golden State fans were amazing. Oakland fans were amazing. Of course, they're in Las Vegas now, but the baseball fans are phenomenal. So nice, passionate. I love it. Right? They don't take any shit. Like LA, if they come late and leave early. That's it, right?
Well, what I'm not proud of, I want to move on, but I'm not. You brought up something we could touch on.
Where'd you go? There you are. Where'd you go? You want me to take over?
It's internet connection. But what I'm not proud of is that New York, the New York fans, Brad, are the rivalries are phenomenal with Boston and each other and our families with the Giants and the Brooklyn Dodgers and the the Yankees. But we don't have that in LA. There's always something else better to do than sit there and worry about sports, and it makes us elitist. But we love our sports. But
I'm taking over now. Yes. Oh, here's back. There. No, you're right. No, LA fans are passionate when we're winning. You know, it's like it's crazy to say, but listen, I love LA. I love LA sports, and we'll see what happens. The Lakers, they're good, they're hot, they're cold. Who knows? But the Clippers are coming on, man. Look out for the Clippers, right? You got those 4 veterans. You never know, right?
You know, when you're right, when they first acquired James Harden, they went like a 5-game losing streak, and now they're really hitting the mark. But we'll get into when the football season ends. We'll get to more of our basketball. That's because right when the Super Bowl ends, we got about 25, 30 games left in the NBA season. So it's fun to handicap, right, and say, hey, this is where the Warriors are at, the Suns. Let's look at the East with Boston. But again, let's end our sports with rest in peace, Devin Milojevic, and for all you Golden State people and Steve Kerr, we're praying for you.
God bless you. We're gonna miss you.
All right, check out this meme. So great.
After birth, how long does it take for the eyes to open?
That's not showing. So
immediately, goats.
Let's see why we're having a little problem. There we go. After birth, how long does it take for the eyes to open? Cows immediately, goats 2 hours, cats after 6 days, dogs after 10 days, humans after marriage. Is that great?
Mr. 34 years on Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday, January 21st.
Oh, that's
fantastic. I'm a lucky man.
You are.
Look, not everyone's married. Not everyone's. We have our ups and downs, but it's really grounded me. So
my parents are married 61, baby. So
huge.
Yeah, man. Listen.
Check this one out. Have you ever noticed that men look at the word menopause, menstrual cramps, mental illness, mental breakdown. Yeah. You ever notice that all your problems start with men?
Wait, but you first got to. You didn't read the top. Ladies, have you ever noticed now for our listening viewers, menopause, men? What does that say?
Scroll cramps.
Scroll cramps. Men. I can't even read that.
Mental illness. Mental breakdown.
Mental illness. I got you. Yeah.
Yeah. Have you ever noticed that all your problems start with men? I love that. And here is something that's right up your alley. I love this. This is my favorite basketball player of all time, but it's great. This is on a marquee. Magic Johnson wasted the world's best porn name on a basketball career.
That's funny. Oh my goodness. Magic Johnson.
Is that great? Good. For our listening audience, it's a marquee. And it says, Magic Johnson wasted the world's best porn name on a basketball career. You couldn't get better.
Magic Johnson.
One of my favorite podcasts I did with, we'll get this out of there because we all probably can't read it. My favorite podcast I did with this guy was with this guy. That's Carrot Top. November 9th. That's Brad. That Sticky Paws Studios is the best. John Orlando and his Travis and his whole gang. We had a chance and that's Carrot Top. Scott Thompson, very good friend of Grunberg, one of the best podcasts I ever did. I laughed for 2 days afterwards, right? But check this out. That's Carrot Top. Can you take a picture of that? Look at it. For all you viewing people, Look at Carrot Top. You've probably seen him. Listeners, go Google him, right? I couldn't get the guy's name, but this is real. This is a picture for the Baltimore Orioles, right?
Right.
I couldn't get his name, but I was laughing so hard. This is not Photoshopped. This is not fake news. Is that Carrot Top as a pitcher for the Baltimore Orioles?
Oh, what's that guy's name?
I don't know. So, listener, someone comments. Give me this guy's name. I'll find out for the next show. I didn't do my homework like I should have, but hey, it is what it is. We're live, and
my gosh,
that is great.
It's crazy. Look around his mouth.
There's Carrot Top. There's him as a baseball player. You know,
that's great. That is.
Love it.
I bet Scott knows the guy's name. That's funny. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Look at that punum. Hey, look at those ears. The hair looks like ears. You know. Oh, that's right. That's great.
So, is that fucking great or what? So we're about halfway through our show, and I started thinking about, you know what? Brad has been in the entertainment industry his whole life. What gets me when I watch a TV show, mostly movies, is cameos. What cameo? What movie did you see where and I say this about all the time when we talk about films, I'll say, this guy stole the movie. Okay. I'm going to show you a picture of a guy that stole the movie. I'll give you an example, listening audience. If you ever saw the movie War Dogs with Miles Teller and Jonah Hill, Bradley Cooper stole the movie. He had 8 minutes of screen time, but he stole the movie. Okay. One of my favorite cult films is Napoleon Dynamite. This is the actor John Grease that played Uncle Rico. 12 minutes of screen time, but if you watch that movie, you could say every one of his lines that he did because it was so dynamic.
Oh, it was great.
In the movie.
Yeah.
The next one I'm going to do before I go shut to Brad, I don't have a picture of it. If you watch the original Caddyshack, Rodney Dangerfield had 7 minutes of screen time and tore it up, crushed it. His lines, the funny. So I'm going to go to Brad, that I want you guys to chime in on fishgrunny1@gmail.com and tell me your favorite cameos. Brad, and it can't be you, Brad.
No, I would not be a great cameo, but I will tell you first, my favorite TV show of all time, Brady Bunch. Bobby is sick in the hospital, and of course, the man comes to visit him. Joe Namath, baby. Remember that episode? Joe Namath comes, remember? And he comes to see Bobby in the hospital. And, the whole thing, Joe throws Bobby a touchdown pass in the backyard. That's one. Number two, an all-time favorite, 2008, Tropic Thunder. Les Grossman. Tom Cruise as Les Grossman. Dancing. Oh, my gosh. He was phenomenal. He came out of nowhere, and you're like, oh, my God, that's Tom Cruise. I mean, the guy, it was hilarious. And Tom Cruise is funny. He's a dramatic actor, but, man, he brought it in Tropic Thunder. Go out back and see that movie. Great movie. Incredible movie. Ben Stiller, just the whole gang. I mean, so funny. But I loved him. I loved Les Grossman.
Wow, Rex Grossman. Jesus Christ. Super Bowl. What was it? He went to the Super Bowl with the Bears and they lost, but that's a one hit. That would be the equivalent of a one-hit wonder. Like, what was that song we all danced to at Mom's Saloon? Dexy's Midnight Runners. Come on, Eileen. Everyone knows that song. One hit. Come on, Eileen. Sing it, Brad, because I might owe you 3 dinners after this.
I don't even know that song, but were you on the bar dancing to that song?
Always. I did. Oh God, I'm always in the bar dancing all the time, buddy. So that's the cameo section. You brought up something that interests me because I hear, and you could tell me if you could fact check this or verify it. I hear Tom Cruise does this. You brought up Tom Cruise, and I thought, does he do his own stunts? Is that true or is that bullshit?
Tom Cruise in his contract goes, if I don't do my own stunts, I'm not doing the movie. Now, you would think the bond company, the insurance company, would freak out, and they do freak out. So they have huge, they have to pay huge money for to insure the movie, and the bond company is who insures the movie. Did you see Mission Impossible 7? I mean, Tom Cruise is a adrenaline junkie. He is. Yeah. I mean, he does everything. I want to be a stuntman because I will just be sitting there watching him eating ding dongs and ho hos and getting paid. I mean, there's very just there is a stuntman because there's some stuff he cannot do. There's no way, but he would want to do it, but they won't let him do it. I think they strapped him to a plane or something. That was a stuntman. But yes, he does all of his stunts. He loves it. And by the way, Tom Cruise, first one to the set, last one to leave. That's a fact. And he's a very nice guy. He's a very, very nice guy. A little cuckoo.
I saw him. He came into Mom's Saloon one time with Emilio Estevez. They did doing a rap party for a film called The Breakfast Club. Not The Breakfast Club. What were they in together? Damn it. Well,
Taps?
God damn it, was it?
No, not Taps.
No.
Yeah.
Wrong. It wasn't a Breakfast Club. It was the movie with C. Thomas Howell. It was based on the S.E. Hinton novel. What's that?
No, I loved C. Thomas Howell and Soul Man. Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah.
Great.
He's great.
Let me look it up.
There's an underrated actor. It was called The Outsiders. Patrick Swayze and those guys. And Cruise walks in. I remember seeing him in Risky Business, and I go,
oh, incredible.
He's the guy. He's I'm only 5'9.5". The nicest guy.
Oh,
who knows? I don't care what he does with his religion and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I know that he treated staff great, and I told you that story about Patrick Swayze. Well, everyone left, and we had to get everyone out, and Patrick Swayze stood back, and he goes, "You mind if I hang out with you guys, even though you're closed?" And all of a sudden, I'm looking around, and he's bussing tables to help us get out of there.
Oh man!
And I wanted to give him a ride. We always went out to get something to eat afterwards, and he just walked to Westwood by himself. And he wasn't a big star back then, but he did that movie. And
no, he's very low. He's like humble, like what's his name from? He just slipped my mind. But no, Tom Cruise. I don't know if you know this, but they did Mission Impossible 1 and 2 at the same time. I mean,
right.
Mission Impossible, the sequel after Mission Impossible 7. This year, Mission Impossible 8's coming out. Well, somebody leaked audio. I guess he had a live mic or something, and he was screaming at this crew guy because he wasn't wearing a mask. It was COVID time, and he goes, "People have families, man. Put the fucking mask on." I mean, he went nuts, and he's just trying to protect people's health. Tom Cruise is all in. He's an all-in guy, and that's what I love about him. He's not just a guy who sits in his trailer and when they call, he is the producer, he's the actor. I don't know if he also punches up scripts, but he is really good. But he's really a guy's guy, and an actor's guy, so.
Good guy. What you want, that's what you said. He's the first guy on the set and the last guy to leave. When you get an athlete like that, like Kobe Bryant, they're winners. The guys that put the most work in anything, right? I hate to use cliches, but they said hard work never killed anybody. No, it makes you better, more successful. If I put more hard work into this podcast, I'd know who this son of a bitch is. Not one person has chimed in.
That's got to be Carrot Top's cousin or something, right?
No, this. Or what he looks like, don't you?
Who?
Come on, Ronald McDonald.
Ronald
McDonald's is a Baltimore Oriole, but
Wendy.
It's great to see a guy go retro like that and get the kind of hair, that we wore back in the 70s. Right. When do you binge watch any shows? Because I got into the Fargo series on FX. That's the Joel and Ethan Coen that started the movie. They do a series, and they take true events that happened in the Midwest, and they make a story of it. This last one with John Hamm and Juno Temple takes the cake.
You love
Did
it?
You watch it?
No, not my type of TV show.
So what do you watch? You watch the Food Network all the time, and then watch comedy and John Candy? What the fuck do you watch?
Food Network, porn. What else do I watch? There's some great porn out now, by the way. I want to hear my guilty pleasure? You won't believe this. The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. And
The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. So you watch The Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Is there?
Do you want me to tell you? Do you want me to tell you why? Because I went to elementary school with Kim and Kyle Richards. That's why. And it's a train wreck. And people are struggling in this world. People can't eat. People don't have jobs. All this stuff. And these fucking women are buying $30,000 burqa purses. What? And they live in a fucking fantasy world. And I'm like, this is fucking crazy. But it's really getting good. And I don't know if you know, but Kyle Richards, she's split from her husband, Mauricio Mansky, and he was on Dancing with the Stars. But Kyle Richards could be dipping her toe in the lady pond, if you know what I mean. Yes.
Ooh.
She found a country singer, Morgan something, and I think they've fallen in love. Wow.
Oh, I'm touched.
Yeah.
I really am.
Yeah, no,
it's in a world that's struggling so much with strife and hunger and that, I remember I lost a bet to my wife, right? Anniversary. And then she made me watch an episode of The Kardashians. And the one I had to watch is they're in search for the perfect pedicure and manicure in Beverly Hills.
Unbelievable.
And I won't say how much they spent to get their nails done.
Yeah.
And their feet done. But if I'm paying that type of money, I'm getting my dick done. So it's insane. But you know what? I get pissed off at people. I don't know how you feel about this, Brad, that put these people down. The Kardashians, say what you want. They're philanthropic. They do a lot for charity.
Yep.
They might not be the most talented people in the world, but they're great business people. It was Chloe or Courtney developed that. I did a podcast with another guy before you that was more talented and better looking. And I brought up a thing called the vagina gummy. The vagina gummy, and I think the moniker was the treat for your meat that makes it taste great, so your man or woman would want to eat, or something like that, right? She's made millions because everyone's got problems in their body. Like we had the Lumate, when we had the Lumate girl come on and talk about body odors on men and women. She got crucified for this, the Kardashians. She made millions. The same people that crucified her probably bought the product, Right. So, right. I mean, I don't care what you do, as long as you give back.
Yeah.
And if people watch your show, then we talked about this. I never watched one episode of Friends. Tremendously successful.
Yeah.
I just didn't get into it.
Why? You didn't like it at all? Nothing?
No. I told my wife, I told Vicky, I said, you know what, honey? What is it? 6 yuppies that live in New York, they'll have money, And I said, what's going to happen in the run of this show? Four of them will hook up with each other. The other two would just be schmucks, And that was the Lisa Kudrow and Joey's character.
Yeah.
I just didn't get into it. Highly successful.
I don't get into your shows. Yeah. And by the way, the Kardashians, 20 years going strong on Hulu. No one even would have thought they last 10 minutes. But you know who the brains behind the operation is? Kris Jenner, the mother. She is incredible businesswoman. I'm telling you. And yes, they are. Yeah.
I think she's beautiful. Do you?
She's gorgeous. Oh yeah.
Yeah. They're all good looking.
Yeah, they're all very well. Listen, they're not all natural, if you know what I mean. They've gone under the knife a couple times. Come on. With all their money, they're getting the Botox. You need some Botox, by the way. Look at you.
Look good.
No.
Right, go back to the Kardashians. Take Kris out of the equation. Which one would you date?
You know who I would date? I love Chloe. You know why? Remember she had that reality show with Lamar Odom? She really took care of him like a real wife. I mean, she had his favorite candy, all this stuff. And I'm like, wow, she's cool. Other than looks, I wouldn't, go right to Kim, But let me ask you this question, because we're on the subject. Why can't they keep a man? Why do they go from, why do the men that they date cheat on them? Remember, what was his name? Chris Humphrey, the center for in the NBA. Remember, he was married to Kimmy. Remember, he cheated on her, or he says, I'm out. I mean, all of them have a story with men. Maybe because their father passed away, early in their lives. I don't know.
Maybe they're not taking the vagina gummies. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean,
I don't know. You know what?
Yeah.
My buddy Craig Persky worked on the show for years as a production finance guy, and said they're all great. And Kim was so nice and great. And it's one thing to realize, you know what, I'm lucky to be in this situation. I might be talented, but they're great business people, and they just get crucified. And I say, you know what? If you don't like them, go fuck yourself, because they do things for a lot of people. Don't watch. You know, I'm not here to be a a big statesman person for the Kardashians, but just give people a break, for God's sakes. Look, people watch and listen to our podcast. I don't know why, but
no, listen. They do a lot of things, and they don't. What I like about them, they're humble about it. They don't talk about all the things and the people they help out. Look at Kimmy; she got a lady out of jail who was wrongly convicted. She spent money, to she wants to be a lawyer. She'll probably never be a lawyer, but they all done in their own way wonderful things for strangers, and I like that.
Do you know her? Do you know her? Because you call her Kimmy.
Never met him. I just call her Kimmy because I might be dating her one day. But no, I don't know. I've talked to a lot of people who know them, and they say they're very, very nice. Listen, look at you. Are you perfect? No. Am I perfect? Yes. No.
Oh, you. Jesus Christ, man.
No one's perfect in this world. Anybody who thinks they're perfect, they should rethink that. Okay. We all make mistakes. We all do things we wish we could go back and do differently. That's life.
Right. Yeah. You're perfect.
And thank you.
I went to Greece one time, right?
What the hell did I think when I said yes? Jesus. 45 shows ago. Fuck me.
You're perfect. I went to the Acropolis in Athens, and there's statues of great Greek gods, Zeus and Ares, and there's Brad Grunberg, He says, yeah, that's it.
Right.
And so you are, no.
One thing
you could be a perfectionist.
Yeah.
But doesn't mean, and people are like that, and they just have to have everything perfect. But no one's perfect, and we strive. I guess our idiom on this show is to hopefully find the best in people. I hear people, Kardashians are losers. Why? You know what? You're a loser because you're a hater. That's a great line. That's a new thing now.
What does idiom mean? Are you still talking? What does idiom mean? What the fuck, man? I didn't do well in school. What does that word mean? Idiom.
Our mantra. That's what we want to try and get out.
Okay,
it's what our message is. Don't worry, Brad. I know you didn't go to English class at university, high school.
No. I mean, can I tell a funny story? I got to tell you about my 12th grade English teacher, Mr. Gardner, who I'm still dear friends with. He is like family. So he was like, he was a really good teacher when he started, but I went to university high school, and it was hilarious because halfway through the class, it was over, and he'd be reading the Wall Street Journal. Okay. So I was bored. We had taken our test. He had corrected them, and it was all over. And it was like a Friday. So I went up to his desk and I said, Mr. Gardner, how you doing? And he pulls down the Wall Street Journal. He goes, yeah, what do you want? I go, I just wanted to say hello. Hello. And he goes back up at the paper. I go, Mr. Gardner, it's me again. I tap on the paper, and he brings it down. He goes, what do you want? I go, I just want to talk to you and say hi. All right, move the trash can, bring that chair over here. And from that day, we've been best of friends. He is the most amazing guy, heart of gold. I learned a lot from him. I don't know how I got a B in his class for Brad, but I never met a teacher I liked more than him. He's a wonderful guy. How about your favorite teacher of all time? High school, junior high, elementary?
Joe Feinstein. I forgot what school was that. Joe Feinstein taught a class called Singles and Death and Living as part of a home economics thing. He took us to funeral homes and took us to, this is where strip clubs are. Yeah.
Wait. What was this? Junior high, high school?
I forgot. It was junior high or high school. But Joe Feinstein was my favorite teacher.
Yeah.
I had more professors in college I liked than I did in high school.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, professors in college. I would love to debate my professors in high school and then see them in the town thing where the school was and get a beer and talk to them. You couldn't do that with high school teachers and stuff like that.
That's true. No, I've had a lot of teachers, and your wife's a teacher, correct?
Yeah, second grade.
Vicky is a wonderful teacher. They don't get enough credit, I've had some wonderful, wonderful teachers in my life, and I've had some reunions, and I brought them back because I wanted to say thank you and have all my friends. Like I had a great 6th grade reunion. I went to Roscommon Road Elementary, and I brought a lot of the teachers back for this reunion to say thank you. And you know what? When former students call you or write you a letter or an email or text you or see you and say thank you, that's big. That's huge, right? For any
No, you're full of shit. Come on. The real reason why you went to your sixth grade reunion, they finally gave you your diploma. Said here, you can now go to junior high school, Mr. Grunberg. You know, I mean, if anyone I want to hang out with high school with, it'd be you, because you're the class clown. You're the guy that can get things. You're like Morgan Freeman's character in Shawshank Redemption. You can get things. You know, hey Brad, I know we're 13. Can you get me Penthouse or Playboy? No problem. How much is it going to cost? Well, the magazine is $4. Give me 10. I'll stop at McDonald's and then get the magazine. Don't worry.
Were you a good student?
What?
Were you a good student in college?
Yes,
in high
I
school?
was A student.
You got straight A's in high school?
Not straight A's, but I probably graduated with a 3.6 or 3.5. They gave me like a talus that I wore at the graduation, like a gold talus, and I was a very good student.
That's great, man.
But I wasn't my biggest crutch in high school was math. I was great at every other subject, science and everything. The English, all the Englishes. What was your worst subject?
Everyone. I was really good.
Great timing. Everyone.
I was really good at recess and lunch. But I will tell you this. I don't even know how I graduated college. I am the real life Jeff Spicoli. I barely fucking squeaked by. I'm telling you. I had to go to one of my teachers at the end of my college career and tell him, yes, I forgot his name, but I go, Mr. White, I had some bad Chinese last night. I wasn't feeling very well during the final. And he looked at me, I swear to God. And of course, I saw him in Park Center next to Kai Babrachuka, where we all had, our a la board card, and our parents filled with money so we could eat. It was the cafeteria. And he looks at me and he goes, Mr. Grunberg, I have a feeling you're going to squeak by. Just like Mr. Hand to Jeff Spicoli in Fast Times at Ridgemont High, which is a movie that I want to tell all the young people to rent, download. One of the greats, and it stands the test of time. Correct?
Absolutely. It is so. If it comes by, if I'm on the HBO's, I'm just streaming, and I see it on, I watch it. Because
by the way,
I still laugh at. I probably seen I've probably seen it 40 times. I'm an idiot. Yeah. But
I mean,
look, Brad, you can't tell me that Chris Spaulding didn't go to you and use you as you were his mentor in doing the scene in Tommy Boy when he's in college. He's getting drunk and he goes, there's no way you weren't that character at the University of Arizona. In your fraternity, you're the guy who got everyone high and drunk and was the most fun guy to be with. And the last day you were in Arizona, there's no way you didn't pass out and break a table for drinking and partying. Come on. Give it up here live on Fatfish.
Do I have stories, man? I have incredible stories. But
save it.
Yeah, no, I'll save them because I'll save it.
Lisa Vallagos, am I pronouncing your name right in? Lisa Vallagos from Chula Vista, California.
Yeah.
That's down in San Diego, right?
Yeah.
When you grew up, what was your and Brad's favorite hairdo? Well, I had an afro, and I could put some pictures on. I had a big old, this is me right here. But I had dark hair. What was your hair like, Brad? I think we had a picture of you with your sister.
My favorite. Mine was the bowl cut, man. They put a bowl on my head and cut around. Yeah, I was. Yeah, I'm barely. I got my hair. This is not a hairpiece. This is real now.
Nah. You know what I don't like? Yeah. Lisa. Lisa, chime in. You know what we don't like, and give us a shout out. I don't like the Jean-Luc Picard look. He was a Starship Enterprise captain after James T. Kirk, and is played by Patrick Stewart, phenomenal Shakespearean actor. It's where you have, take this shit off. Look at that melt. It's like you have hair right here, right? Yeah. And then the rest of you's bald. Yeah. I don't get that. Why don't I had a buddy of mine that worked with me at a restaurant that I used to run. I felt like saying to him, just shave this shit off.
Right.
Or you ever get a guy, Brad, that has like, you're close to it, that has 7 strands on the top of his head? He's combing it over and he's gelling it.
Yeah. Well, look at Larry David. Larry David has the hair.
He has that
out here.
Yes.
Yeah. But no, for some people, it's a good look. They don't want to go totally bald. They want to hang on to what they still have. You know, I don't understand it either. They should just shave the whole thing, right? You know, have But
were you
yeah.
At least I don't know about you. I don't know how old you are, but Brad, what was very popular when we were kids is we used to call it the bird. The women had the bird feather hair. They just took there with the comb it over their ears, and they took the hair dryers, and there was a mullet before the mullet.
I don't know who these women are, but I'll go with what you said. I concur. Whatever. Yeah.
Did you ever date a girl with a really bad hairdo, and you went on a date and said, "Jesus Christ, what is that flop on top of your head?"
No, not really. You know, women take care of their hair more than men do. No, I did not. All my women had nice hairdos. You know, they went every 2 weeks. Like I used to take my grandma, Helen Nanny Klein, to the hairdresser every 2 weeks to get her. I think she grew up a brunette, but then she became a blonde. And I took her to Miwa's Salon on 3rd Street. And then after, of course, I took her to Andre's Spaghetti down the street, across the street from Farmer's Market. And she loved the spaghetti. By the way, my grandma loved Andre's Spaghetti so much because it was a cafeteria style. It's still there today. Great Italian food. But she liked it because no tip. But of course, as we walked away with our trays, with our spaghetti and French bread and soup, I'd slip the guy at 10. You know, I'd slip the guy at 10 and say, "Thanks, buddy." And just my grandma was so special. But yeah, Miwa's Salon. It's not there anymore, but I used to take my grandma every 2 weeks. Women they take care of themselves better than they take care of their men. Hello, right? And Vicky has taken care of you for 34 fucking years. Jesus. Yeah. And
you know what a pet peeve of mine is? You're bringing up salons. I don't know if you're into manicures or pedicures, but
yes,
I am.
I'm going Sunday.
Have you ever gone to a manicure?
Long trend.
You ever gone to a manicure and the people that own the shop speak a different language and they're all speaking to each other and they're talking about you?
It's a Seinfeld episode. Yeah, exactly. They're all speaking Vietnamese and I'm going, "What the fuck are you talking about?" Or it'd be a great bit is they're talking Vietnamese and I answer them in English and they'll go,
yeah.
"Oh," I go, "I know you're talking about me, so why don't you just speak in English?"
I was in a nail salon in Studio City when I was back in LA. Before I saw you at Arts Deli, I went down there and got my nails done, and all I heard was like that. And I turned around and I said,
"Yeah."
The one girl, and she just lost it. It was so funny. I gave her a wink, and then when she got done, I tipped her really fat, and I said, "Kakadao." And she looked at me and I go, "I understand everything you said about me. And you're going to get a nice Yelp review." And I walked out.
No way. Oh, that's funny. Oh, that's great.
But hey, they can talk about you all you want. Who cares? It was great. They're enjoying their lives. They got a nice business going on. And life goes on.
Yep.
What do you got going on? I'm watching the playoffs this week. I'm going to work, watch the playoffs, have family over. Right. What are you doing?
I'm going to watch some football. Probably lift drive. I still do that. Make some money. Listen, every day's a gift. Going back to what we talked about at the beginning of the show, and count your blessings, everybody. Don't be a jealous, toxic person. Whatever you get in life, you work hard. And luck and timing has a lot to do with life. Even though you work hard, nothing. So I know a lot of actors, buddies of mine, who never got their dream because right place, right time, right part. But to be bitter and angry is no way to go through life, right? Right, buddy?
Everything. That's why.
Yeah.
I say this every podcast. I'm blessed to be with you because no matter, we can make fun of each other. You're so positive about everything. You have the worst day on the planet, and you're always finding a smile. I need to get more of that in my life. And hanging out or being with you, I've learned. I've learned not to be so just so stressed out all the time, and learn not to sweat the small stuff.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And remember, life is a strange game. There are no coincidences. We reconnected after 30, right?
32.
And look at us now, show number 45. And I live my life positivity and love. That's how I live my life every day. And I do the best I can. Because remember, my dad just told me, we just had a talk the other day. If you have a bad day today, tomorrow's a brand new day. Clean slate, baby. Clean slate.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Well, hey, 45's in the books. How do you feel? I feel great.
No, this is so much fun doing this. I'd like to make money doing this, but then I have to get rid of you. So it's
hey man,
and I cannot be good for your acting career. They're like, what the fuck?
By the way,
this idiot, come on, Brad, you're better than that.
By the way, when Slices goes into production, we got a part for you. You don't have to keep begging me. I got a part for you. And guess what? You play yourself. Can you do that, asshole? Jesus Christ. Pauly Shore did it in Encino Man and Jury Duty and all those other fucking movies. Just play yourself because you're so likable. And I love you.
Love you too, man. All right.
Happy anniversary. Have a great weekend. And we'll see you next week on number 46 of Fat Fish, baby.
And I owe Brad dinner.
2. You're going to owe me 2.
What do you think of that, Dave Linden?
You've been listening to the Fat Fish Podcast, heard on all your favorite platforms. Until next time.
Love you, Brad.
Love you too, buddy.
Thanks a lot, Nanny Klein. Greatest laugh ever.
The best. The cackle.